Brilliant. Hi, Kate.
Hi,
It's
Deb.
really good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
It's great to see the school and actually see your environment. So we always tend to see you, at events and things, but it's really good to actually see you.
We're really proud of it. We've put quite a lot of effort into, making sure that there's children's work up on display and we're showing the progress that's being made here. Yeah,
That's great. It all looks really impressive. So well done. So how have things been since the development centre?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, interesting. I shared some of the things that we talked to people about, and I was a bit worried about some of the messages that I'd got through their feedback. So I just wanted to check really what it was that was on people's minds, and I have to say I don't sort of think that they've been really very open with me about what the issues are.
That's interesting. So you mean you said you were worried about some of the feedback. So you mean people that you've managed in the school?
Yeah. So some of the things that were written on the 360-degree feedback and about the organisational climate, I was quite surprised about, really.
Well, we can go into that definitely. I mean, I probably should have said at the beginning that we've got about an hour to sort of discuss some of that feedback, and we can always take sort of time, another time to have further conversations if need be, and obviously anything we discuss together in here will remain confidential. So
okay, so you're not going to go back and
no,
tell people about this?
Absolutely not. Unless unless we had a concern about your health or well-being or anything, but we'd always have that conversation with you first. So rest assured that wouldn't happen, and just try to be as honest as possible, because then we can obviously support you. In the best way. So, what I wanted to do was and by the way, I thought that at the development centre it was great the way you supported other people in the group, and really some of the people that were unsure about their results as well. So I didn't necessarily get the impression there that you were anxious or worried about some of the results, but it would be really good to speak about that now, absolutely. So what particular things we worried about in terms of the feedback?
Well, just some of the things that people were saying about my leadership and the fact that they weren't really sure what I stood for, and I think I'm quite clear what my values are, and they were saying they didn't really know what direction I was trying to take the school in, and they were really uncertain about the environment that I was creating and didn't really know what the priorities were. I was quite surprised, because I think I've been quite clear about those things. So I just didn't get it, and then when I came back and I probed them, they weren't really very willing to say to me, to kind of flesh out the details. So I'm finding it quite difficult to get a grip on what I actually need to do about those things.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. I would say that with these diagnostics, that's really common for people. Obviously, they have the freedom to write what they wanted and to give very honest feedback in an anonymous way. And it's really, going forward, it would be really valuable for you that they've been able to do that, because you'll be able to build on and make your leadership even better than it is now. So, what I would say is it's not unusual that they haven't then been able to open up when you've asked them directly. It might help for me to at this point just to go over one of the areas that came out as you being particularly strong in terms of your leadership style was being very directive and pace setting. So I don't know whether that's something that that they were able to relay back to you in those conversations. And I'd say that leadership style is not. I saw some concern there. Is that something that kind of hits the nerve, or?
Well, I'm just a bit confused, because to me, sort of directive and pace setting is more what I thought I was, and yet they seem to be saying that they're not sure what I stand for as a leader or where I'm trying to take the school. So the two things just don't make any sense to me, and because I can't get them to open up, I don't know what that says about me and how they feel about me as a leader if they can't kind of tell me and how we're going to go forward as a leadership team.
Well, I think there's some really clear ways we can hopefully help you as a headship team, because we've seen this situation before with other heads we've worked with, and I think it's really common for a new head like you to go in the first year of being in post in what is a turnaround situation in a school to adopt that directive and pace-setting approach, and for staff not to, obviously, and for that you have to push them really, really hard in that first year. But I think now is the time where you should be able to step back and look at some of the other approaches you can take. So developing people, coaching them, and actually going back to what do you stand for, you know, vision, values, and all of those things. So I think, and you know, feel free to tell me what you think about this, is, you know, we've got some heads who had that approach at first, and now they've really changed and added different leadership styles to you know, so they've adopted the more coaching approach. So would it be useful to go and meet with and do some shadowing of, I'm thinking particularly like Glenn at Shelby Park, who, you know, when things were a real mess there to begin with, had to be very directive, and now they've got some more breathing space. So, you know, you could go somewhere like that, spend some time with him, kind of see how he's changing his approach to things.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's the approach that's the thing, or whether in all the kind of activity, and I think you're right, there has been quite a lot of pace setting because there's just been so much to do here that, you know, I have lost sight of it and haven't been really articulating to the leadership team and to my staff why it is we're doing the things. So maybe it's about pausing on that and spending some time as a team going back to some of those first principles. I do quite like the idea of shadowing, but I'm not sure that it's about changing my approach. Maybe it's thinking about how to do that refresh. Is there a head who's
absolutely? Well, and also just picking up on what you said there about, you know, going back and refreshing all of those values with your SLT, we could look into rolling out something like a mini heads development centre to SLT, so picking up some of the key things from there, so that they've all bought into how powerful that tool can be, and working on some of the, you know, we can put together a little workshop on, you know, school culture, and you know, you can be a key lead in that to just pull everyone together and to really sort of reassert yourself as you know, the head of everyone. You know, you want to obviously inspire everybody and bring everyone on board. So we could definitely look into creating something bespoke for you. I suppose just from previous experience and things we've, you know, other heads we've worked with, it has really helped for them to see how other people are doing it. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Glenn. You know, we could sort of share with you some, you know, examples of what other heads are doing. We can kind of have a pick and see, you know. And it's always really good to get out of school. So I'm assuming you probably haven't been out of school much recently. So. No,
I feel that I have to be here to keep things moving, but I think that, you know, that might work, and that idea of doing something together with my senior leadership team, because I think, you know, I was very clear when I arrived what I stood for and what I thought we needed to do, and then we focused on the doing of it, but maybe now's the time to kind of spend some time as a team working on our shared vision. That might be the thing that works.
Okay.
I think.
All right, good. Now we'll pause it there. Thanks.